to have you on SpaceX Daily, episode 15, coming to you from Vancouver. It's June 26th, 2026. From the launch pad to the trading floor, here's everything that moved today. Starpipe's dedicated Texas gas line removes a propellant-delivery bottleneck that has caped Starship launch cadence at Starbase. SpaceX plans to build the Starpipe natural gas pipeline to deliver fuel directly to Starbase for liquefaction into methane and oxygen. Construction begins in July 2026, with first gas flow expected in 2027. Reports indicate the line is sized to support multiple Starship flights per week once complete. The project also includes expanded tank farms and road upgrades at the Texas site. With propellant delivery now moving from truck logistics to purpose-built infrastructure, the next infrastructure push is happening at the Cape. SpaceX has already stacked the first two segments of a second Mechazilla tower at SLC 37 in Florida. Observers note the pace matches the 43-day build of the prior tower at Starbase. Completion by late July would give the site a full tower ahead of planned Falcon Heavy and Starship operations. The structure is intended to handle both current Falcon Heavy missions and future Starship flights after pad upgrades. While Texas and Florida infrastructure expands, SpaceX is also exploring new ways to deliver connectivity directly from orbit. SpaceX is evaluating a retail direct-to-cell service that would use existing Starlink spectrum and satellites, rather than new ground towers. Initial coverage would target rural areas and highway corridors before any urban expansion. No formal license application has reached regulators yet, though planning documents outline competition with major carriers. As Starlink pushes into new terrestrial markets, pressure is building on its existing rideshare business. Demand for Falcon 9 transporter and bandwagon slots now exceeds supply for 2026 and 2027. Operators face multi-month waits and rising per kilogram prices as secondary payloads compete for remaining capacity. Some small satellite builders are shifting payloads to other vehicles or delaying deployments. SpaceX has not announced additional dedicated small-sat missions to ease the queue. While commercial rideshare capacity tightens, a new weather satellite just proved the value of those same missions. The GEMS-2 microwave radiometer on the WeatherStream satellite, launched March 30th on Transporter 16, has returned its first global data. The instrument collects cloud-penetrating moisture and temperature profiles across multiple microwave bands. Early validation shows agreement with radiosonde measurements within expected error bounds. The mission highlights ongoing commercial demand for dedicated small weather satellites on rideshare flights. A sunset Falcon 9 ascent from Vandenberg was visible across Southern California on June 25th. The booster flew a standard Starlink mission profile with recovery on the drone ship. No anomalies were reported during ascent or landing. Photographers posted time lapses of the Vandenberg sunset plume stretching across the Pacific. Observers described the plume as stretching for hundreds of miles under clear evening conditions. Observers on X noted the rapid initial stacking rate at SLC 37 and compared it directly to the Starbase tower timeline. Small satellite builders discussed shifting some payloads to non-SpaceX vehicles after repeated transporter slot delays. Weather data users highlighted the new GMS-2 microwave channels that fill gaps in tropical moisture tracking. Aviation and maritime users shared early tests of Starlink direct-to-cell coverage along remote coastal routes. Worth keeping an eye on, state records reviewed by the Texas Observer show a worker fatality at a SpaceX facility alongside hundreds of reported injuries in recent years. The incident renews questions about safety protocols during high-tempo manufacturing and launch site construction. Investigations are ongoing, and SpaceX has not released a public statement on corrective actions. On the AI front, no new source developments on orbital data centers or XAI compute integration appeared in today's coverage. Watchers continue tracking Starlink direct-to-cell backhaul capacity and any cross-company compute arrangements that may surface in future filings. From an engineering standpoint, the Starpipe project centers on moving natural gas from existing Texas supply points to Starbase liquefaction trains. At first principles, the constraint is not the gas itself, but the rate at which it can be delivered, chilled to liquid, and stored without venting losses. A dedicated pipeline collapses the logistics chain that currently relies on truck or rail deliveries whose throughput is limited by vehicle cycles and road access. Once online, the line can supply the several hundred tons of methane per flight that a weekly cadence would demand, cutting both cost and schedule risk. The design choice also creates a single point of failure that must be engineered with redundant compression and leak detection systems to keep launch availability high. Next milestones to watch are the July groundbreaking and any updates on liquefaction plant capacity that will determine how many vehicles can be fueled in parallel. And a quick market note, SPCX closed at $153, up 0.1%. Before we go, watch for any updates on the Starpipe groundbreaking and whether the SLC-37 tower stacking pace holds through July. And that's a wrap on today's SpaceX developments. SPCX is trading at $153, up 0.1%. Share this with a fellow spaceflight fan if you found it useful, and subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's episode. I'm Patrick in Vancouver. See you next time. And before you go, this show is part of the NARA Network, a family of daily podcasts on tech, science, and markets. Each one a short, sharp briefing you can finish on the commute. If today earned its place in your feed, here's your next listen. Fascinating Frontiers, the most fascinating news from space and science. Find every show free at naranetwork.com. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.